Hello and welcome back to the Baggies Podcast YouTube channel, where of course we're giving you all the latest news, views and opinions on all things Albion. Today we're back again with another YouTube special video for you, talking all about West Bromwich Albion's transfer business this summer window. We're going to be ranking and rating Albion's transfer window, giving each outgoing and incoming a special grade, be that an F for absolutely terrible or an A for the star-studded transfers that we've definitely not picked up. But yeah, we'll be talking through all of the transfers this summer, those that involve money, those that involve loans, free transfers as well, giving a grade for the club as to what we can talk about and what we can give a grade for the transfers. But yeah, before we get straight into this transfer special after deadline day, in which we brought in no players, make sure you subscribe to the Baggies Podcast YouTube channel for more content like this: match day vlogs, match previews, match reaction podcasts, all that jazz, player interviews, all that stuff. Make sure you get involved in the podcast and subscribe. We're going for 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year. But yeah, let's get straight into this, rating Albion's transfer window. So let's get straight into this with some outgoings, of course, starting with the players that departed the club, some permanently, some not so permanently. Worth noting that I'm only including those players that went for a fee or that went on loan for the outgoings, and that doesn't include players that have left following an obligation to buy. That's players like Ahmed Ghazi or Sam Field. So we'll start with Raheem Harper, who is a player that left the club at the very beginning of the window. I think he knew that it was his time to leave the club after a loan spell at Birmingham City over the latter stages of last season. He's obviously joined Ipswich for a £500,000 reported fee. All of these fees, by the way, are reported of Transfer Market, the website that gives you all the transfer fees. And he's also joined an Ipswich side that also later on in the window signed Kyle Edwards on a free transfer, who we released. Obviously, we won't be talking about him as he's a free transfer. But he never really got a regular spot in the side for Albion. Obviously, played a reasonable part in the 18-19 season under Darren Moore. And fair enough that he wants to go and get some regular game time. But however, I'm going to rate this transfer quite low for an Albion's perspective, because I quite liked Raheem Harper and I thought that he was going to make a decent showing of himself in the first team this season. And I think it's actually quite a shame that he didn't manage to do that. I would have liked to see him get that chance. So for that, I'm going to rate this transfer a D, a grade D, because I'm quite disappointed that we let him go. I thought that he might stay around. Obviously, now we look at it in the midfield picture, it would have been beneficial to have somebody like him in the midfield. Whatever your thoughts on Harper, the depth is definitely needed in terms of that midfield under Valérien Ismaël and its high-pressing system. So I'm going to go for Raheem Harper with a D grade for this one. We're going straight into Romain Sawyers next, another midfielder to depart the club. Now, he's joined Stoke on a season-long loan. He joins the Potters until the end of the season. This does free up a little bit of our wage budget, as I assume that Romain Sawyers will have been earning a fairly decent senior wage at the club. It's a shame that this may spell possibly the end of this West Bromwich Albion career. I'm going to rate this transfer quite highly in terms of West Brom perspective, because I think Romain Sawyers, for his own good, I think needed to leave on a loan spell. I think a lot of Albion fans were really starting to get on his back, and it became a bit of a chore from lots of Albion fans, not myself included. I personally would support Romain Sawyers as long as he's an Albion player. But I think a lot of fans getting on his back. It's not very good for him, not very good for the enjoyment of his football, and I think this may spell, unfortunately, the end of his Albion career. Hopefully he comes back, and hopefully he comes back stronger and a better player. However, I think this may spell the end of his Albion career. But I'm going to rate it a B, simply for the beneficiary of Sawyers to go out and get some experience and get some more positive experience, and obviously we free up a bit of our wage budget in the process. But yeah, straight on to our biggest outgoing of the season in terms of monetary value, which is MATHEUS PEREIRA, who joined Saudi side Al-Hilal on a permanent deal costing £17 million, a reported fee by the Express and Star of costing £4.25 million over the space of 4 years, less than perhaps we should have got, which is why I rate it so awfully. It's not quite bottom tier, it's not quite the F. I think at least we got some money for him, but it's not anywhere near as much as I thought we should have got for MATHEUS PEREIRA and the quality of player he is. Never mind the attitude problems, I think his quality is unmatched really from Albion, any of the players in Albion's squad. But this is why I'm rating it so badly, is because of the money that we've spent, money that we've let him go for. Maybe that's not his fault, but the transfer for us wasn't as beneficial as I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be the main stoker for our moves this summer. And obviously we'll talk more about incomings in a few minutes. But I think MATHEUS PEREIRA, I'm going to rate that a D, maybe slash an E. I think it's that bad. in terms of price. I think to get MATHEUS Pereira out the club is good. However, to sell him for that sort of money is not good. Those are my thoughts on the outgoings that involve money or loan signings, not obligations to buy. Obviously, we'll talk about incomings now. So let's go straight into those who joined us on a bit of a free deal, because obviously we've done a couple of those this summer. We'll talk about the incomings that are free. Let's go straight into a player that surprisingly joined us, a player called QUEVIN CASTRO, who joined us on a free transfer after trials at Arsenal and Chelsea. Initially signed for the development squad, or the under-23 squad of West Bromwich Albion. And it's nice to see us investing in some youth with QUEVIN CASTRO being 20 years old. Obviously, coming in after unsuccessful trials with Chelsea and Arsenal, obviously it's something they didn't see in him that we have seen. However, I do think that he's a very good player. We saw in the Carabao Cup tie against Arsenal. If you want to see my thoughts on all of the youngsters that played in that, or the 5 debutant youngsters, make sure you drop a read from my article on the WBA latest website, where I talk about those incomings of the youngsters into the side. But yeah, QUEVIN CASTRO showed some bright touches on the ball against Arsenal, showed a bit of lacking of decision making, but I thought he looked decent. And it's nice to see us investing in a little bit of youth. So I'm going to say that transfer is a C, because I like to see us stacking up on those 3 youngsters. I don't see what's wrong with getting a really good, strong under-21 squad together. There's nothing wrong with it at all. But yeah, straight into another free transfer now, which is Adam Reach, who joined us following the expiration of his contract at Sheffield Wednesday. Hopefully going to provide a bit of backup in the left wing back position on a free as well. Can't be complaining too much about that at all. I don't think this signing in any way, shape or form sets the world alight. I don't think it provides a massive need for excitement in the club. I don't think it really fills me with dread either. So I think it's a middle ground signing. Adam Reed, solid addition at left wing back. Hasn't impressed too many people. I've seen a lot of people whinging about him, but you know, what would an Albion player be if he didn't split opinion? But yeah, in my opinion, I think that we've done pretty decent with Adam Reach. I think he's going to provide a nice little ability to be a backup for Connor Townsend, who's obviously a very good left wing back. But if we were to lose him, it's good to have somebody solid and championship experienced beneath him. So yeah, I'm going to give this one a C. It's just a middle of the ground signing, not great, but not terrible either. So Adam Reach is a C for this transfer window. Straight into our final free transfer, which I think is actually the best transfer of our window, which is Alex MOWATT, who signed following another expiration of a contract, but this time at Barnsley, where he was the captain. And I think he's a great signing on a free. Quality on and off the ball, as we've seen through him in the recent games. I think he's provided a bit of spark in the midfield, something that we haven't seen in ball-playing qualities for quite some time for Alex MOWATT. Somebody who can do both jobs, play the defence-splitting pass, but also make the goal-saving tackle at the other end. So Alex MOWATT, I'm really pleased with his signing. Knows Valérien Ismaël well. I think it's an absolute coup to get on a free transfer. It's absolutely ridiculous how they've even let us get away with picking up a free transfer with Alex MOWATT and not making us pay a load of money for him. I'm going to say it's an A for Alex MOWATT, and I think he's done a really, really good job. And I think he's going to be signing of the season by far. I don't think that takes a lot of competition, mind you, with this list, but I'm going to give it an A for Alex MOWATT. Next, into the loan signings, because obviously we always dip into the loan market as West Bromwich Albion, and we always like to dip into those loan signings. So we'll go straight in with Matt Clarke, who I am incredibly impressed with so far throughout his Albion career. On loan from Brighton and had a good spell at Derby County last season. I think he looks at home after a few appearances so far in the West Bromwich Albion defence. Obviously had a few injuries, unfortunately, which has caused us to think maybe he has got those pom bear legs, as we say. But I think he looks very good. It's a shame it's not a permanent deal. I'd have liked it to have been a $5 million permanent deal, but obviously we've shown with the budget that we're not spending any money whatsoever. I'm going to give this transfer a B. It would be an A because of the quality of player and the quality of championship defender you're getting. However, it's not a permanent. I liked it to be a permanent, so I'm going to give it a B. Straight into another loan signing, again from Brighton. Dan Ashworth, the sporting director at Brighton, doing us another solid deal with JAYSON MOLUMBY, who joins us from Brighton on a season-long loan with an option to buy, which is nice. He's looked good on loan at Millwall in the 2019-20 season, looking very good on loan the Republic of Ireland international, which you can't be complaining about an international player joining you, especially on a loan with a cheap option to buy as well. I think the option to buy takes this above and beyond. If you want to see my video on any of these signings, by the way, make sure you check the transfers content playlist on the Baggies Podcast YouTube channel. I think JAYSON MOLUMBY is a B. I think he would be a C for quality of player that I think we're getting. However, I think a B is because it's the option to buy. It shows a bit of intent that we're willing to spend a bit of money on him should he become any good. On to the final transfer of the window, the 6th transfer that we've made this season, despite spending £0 million, is Jordan HUGILL, who is on loan from Norwich City. He's hard-working, definitely solid and definitely hard-working, but not quite clinical. I think he's better than Zohore, which I think doesn't say a lot, but it does say that he is a good player. On loan from Norwich City for the remainder of the season, I'm going to give Jordan HUGILL a C. I don't think he's that bad. I don't think he's great either. Same with Adam Reach. I'm not overwhelmed, but I'm not underwhelmed either. And I definitely think he's better than Zohore and will do a better job. But in terms of our whole transfer window, what grade would I give our transfer window? It's a C. I don't see what other grade it could be. It's not fantastic. It's not awful. Outgoings have been a little unimpressive. I'd have liked to have seen us get more for PEREIRA. However, I'm incredibly pleased with the signings that we've made for nothing. However, it's the fact that we've signed them for nothing upsets me a little bit. That we spent no money on transfers is a little bit underwhelming. Well, very underwhelming for a club of our size in the Championship and for the healthy budget that supposedly we were supposed to have, according to JUK, the sporting director of the club at the moment. So I'm going to say a C for Albion's transfer window. Let me know your thoughts on each and every transfer in the comments below. Let me know your overall rating. But that just brings me to the end of this Baggies podcast video on the transfer window so far. Let me know your thoughts on the transfers below. Subscribe if you're new. We're heading for 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year. Turn your notifications on so you never miss an upload. And I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye, Baggies fans. Enjoy your week.